No, I do it better when I'm being opposed. I stick your chest, I keep the chin up.
Yo, what up, everybody?
Time, you got to get
Your man,
knocked down.
Coach
Get up.
I'm out here going for about a 4.5 mile walk, strong pace walk. It's about 90 degrees. Coach Balls, what do you have on? Hoodies in 90-degree weather. What do you have on a sauna jacket under that? What do you have on a waist straight under that? Blah, 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 blah. First of all, nobody even knew I had all that shit on. Just told you. Second of all, typically when I do stuff like this, I do it because I want to challenge myself, you know what I mean? I was trying to get in better shape. I was trying to be a good example, you know, to eliminate people's excuses. Stuff gets hard. I can't really teach people how to fight through the hard if I myself have not gone through hard things. And this is just one example, okay? This is, you know, I've never been a distance runner, never been a long distance walker, you know, play football and basketball. But basketball, you do a little distance run as far as conditioning, but football, it's primarily fast pace, full speed sprints, that sort of thing. You know, the older I got, now I'm getting up in age, I gotta consider keep my weight down, keep my heart health. So I gotta move accordingly. Be a effective, you know, strength and conditioning without being in really, really good shape. That's not everybody's philosophy, but I know it's mine. You know, I feel like it's just hypocritical to be a fat trainer or fat strength coach if, you know what I mean, you're supposed to be teaching people how to be disciplined and all that sort of stuff. So I say all that as kind of as preliminary to what I want to say to you guys. Look, man, a lot of people talk about the difference between motivation and discipline. A lot of people have a bad habit of downplaying certain things, motivation being one of them. You know, even myself, I don't necessarily like to be called a motivational speaker, more of an inspirational speaker, because motivation sounds so temporary. If you're motivated, man, you know that's not a negative thing. And if you're constantly trying to motivate others, that ain't a bad thing either. You know, motivation is the thing that gets you going. It's the jump start. You know, if your car won't start, you got a freaking battery pack, attach that bad boy to your battery, and your car finally starts. Thank God for the battery pack. You need that one little jolt every now and then. We need that one burst, that little bolt of energy, that push off, that kickstart. We need that. At the same time, discipline is the thing that keeps you going. And I ain't want to knock much of anything. You know, we live in a world that's so pessimistic, man. We're always trying to figure out ways and reasons not to do stuff or something. We're always trying to tear down, always trying to find the negative in every freaking thing. I mean, look, man, you blessed to have a job. You blessed to have a car. Bro, you blessed to be able to walk. You blessed to be able to sit in that wheelchair and push it. You are blessed to be able to drink water, enjoy the sun. You blessed to be able to lay down on a bench. You blessed to be able to fuss at somebody, because the fact that you have air in your lungs is a positive thing. The fact that you can share your story, the fact that you can receive a story from somebody else to be motivated to do better, all that's blessings, dog. You know, it's so much negativity going on in life, in the world. You know what I mean? We can find the negative in everything. But look, check this out. Your body is under more stress and more tension when it's under like bad energy. Here's one example. It takes more muscles to frown than it do to smile, okay? It takes more energy to be pissed off than it does to be happy, all right? When you are under stress, bruh, let me tell you something. Your heart works overtime. Your head works overtime. All the blood goes to one of those two areas and everything else is neglected. When you are stress-free, when you exercise and move your body, what that does is that spreads the oxygen levels, that spreads the blood throughout the entire body. And that's your body, it's a euphoric type of feeling, because that's literally your body taking a breath of fresh air. All the oxygen levels are regulated through your whole body. So that helps eliminate stress. That's a big reason why, you know, me as a strength coach and as a trainer, I'm always encouraging exercising, working out, always. That ain't just something that I do to get paid. It's something that'll save somebody's life. And it's personal to me because, 2 years ago, I lost one of my favorite, closest cousins to freaking pancreatic and liver cancer. Lost my oldest sister from complications to weight loss surgery. You know what I mean? My oldest brother, he passed from a heroin overdose a few years back. You know what I'm saying? And all of this stuff, when I tell you, by just choosing a healthier way of living, can prevent the causes of these diseases, can prevent the mindset that will force you to want to turn into drugs. Man, bro, I'm in the gym all day long. You mean to tell me that if my sister would have come up there with me, I couldn't help her lose a little weight? You know what I mean? But the sad thing is, we feel so, I don't know, desperate a lot of times. And we look for a quick resolution a lot of times. And we don't want to do the painful, grueling work that gives us the long-term benefits. Bruh, going for a long walk literally adds so many years to your life just by moving your body, getting the blood flow throughout the body. Listen, man, people have come to me, have said, Coach Boss, I just got, doctors just diagnosed me with pre-diabetes. Doctor diagnosed me with diabetes. He got me on these shots. Man, I don't want to be taking these shots. Listen, man, move like this, do like this, eat this, drink this water, drink this amount, do it for a couple of months, go back to the doctor. Let's see what they say. This ain't no thousands of dollars of prescription. This ain't no, I don't charge $600-700 a month to help people change their lives. When you do it, that's what happens. That's what it's worth, though, to be honest. But what I'm telling you is that, these people, you follow a meal plan, you get on a regular workout regimen, then you change your life. All right? And that's just talking about the healthy side of things, man, the health, the fitness aspect of things. What does it do to your mental health? You get to thinking clearer. You way more relaxed. You way more calm. You know what I mean? You're not under stress. You're not angry. All of this, man, listen, all of this is a result of a healthier lifestyle. You don't have to revert to, lashing out, violent. You don't have to revert to being pissed off, angry. You don't have to depend on no artificial drugs either. You know what I mean? You ain't got to depend on no synthetic drugs. You ain't got to depend on none of that stuff. You get to move your body the right way. That causes so many things like depression and anxiety and, our overthinking that causes us to just spiral into our own minds with negativity. Man, all of that stuff can be resolved by regular eating habits, regular exercise. I'm telling you, man, movement is medicine, dog. I mean, literally, movement is medicine. So let me change gears real quick. Back in May, I had the opportunity to go to about 3 or 4 different churches to speak, 4 or 5 different high schools, and my message really was the same. The message is 2 words, man. Speak life. If you live in a city, or if you're in a family, or if you're in a neighborhood, all you see is negativity. All you see is destruction. All you see is death, okay? Then you know what's going to coincide with all of that? All you're going to hear is negativity too. All you're going to hear is people talking down and talking negative. All you're going to hear is people saying what they can't do or what they'll never do or what they've done, and because they've done this, they'll never be able to do this. When you speak that way all the time, you give those words life, man. That's the reason why it seems like our bad circumstances will never change, because all we do is talk about the bad circumstances that you were in, and because you either were or currently in it, you think that's all there is to it. You think that that's what life will be, is just being stuck in hell and just being stuck in mediocrity, being stagnant. I can't find a job, I'll never find a job. I can't find a good man, I'll never find a good man. I can't find a good woman, I'll never find a good woman. It has a history of drug abuse, alcohol abuse, so that's all I'm gonna be, alcoholic drug addict. That's it. You decide your circumstances. You decide your outcome. And let me tell you something. Once you align your thinking process with the way God has set this thing up, let me tell you something. This man said several times, I came to give you life. And I came to give you life more abundantly, which means I did not come to have you living, trying to live check to check. Or I didn't come to this world to have you, hooked on drugs or hooked on gambling or hooked on things that's destructive. I didn't come into the world to do that. Bro, I came so you can see how great I am and so that you can manifest how great I am so that you can give me the credit, give me the glory for all the greatness that I've done in your life. Bro, we're not here to just be wandering around aimlessly and stuck in a place, in a mindset that it just is what it is. This is all I'm meant to be. No, not at all. Now I will say this too. Success and glory, the hardest roads lead to those. The hardest road leads to success and the hardest road leads to glory. Here's what I mean. Anybody can push a big ass boulder downhill, but who can push that boy uphill? You know what I'm saying? Now, what are the benefits of pushing a boulder downhill? Not very many. What are the benefits of you struggling to push a boulder uphill? Bruh, your legs get stronger, your arms get stronger, your back gets stronger, your core gets stronger, your endurance improves, your endurance improves. All of this is a result of longer struggle. Let me tell you something. I said this up at Justin University in Chicago. And my man Quentin Demps heard me say this and almost hit his head on the doggone ceiling. He jumped up so high. Let me tell you something. The harder you struggle, the stronger you become. Look at the struggle as an absolute blessing that God is loading you up for something so incredible that he's literally preparing your body and preparing your mindset to fight through hard things to benefit the good things later on. Now, what do I say that? Bro, you're looking at a dude. First off, I went to college in 1999. I didn't get my degree until 2019. You do the math, okay? Now, was I in school that whole time? No. Was I in school in the beginning of it? Yes, I was in the greatest school in the country, Ohio State University. Had to leave because of circumstances completely out of my control. Wound up going to UT Chat, misguided while I was there, not really got it, so made some stupid decisions. Hooked up with a girl, we get together, you know what I'm saying? A year later, my son is born. Cool, I'm with that, but I mean, that was the greatest thing that ever happened, to be honest. My son being born. Because that thrust me into even more of a manhood, fatherhood type of role. But check this out. 2005, I'm a father now. Can't really go to school full time anymore because my girl at the time was like, well, I need you to go to work. All right, cool. So 2005, 2006, you know what I'm saying? I'm working. Me and her split up. And all right, now I'm at a crossroad because she in Memphis, I'm in Chat, and my son is splitting time between the both of us. All right, so what we do now is she got him in Memphis for 2 weeks. I got him in Chat for 2 weeks. I hated that, so I dropped everything in Chat. My family is there, my job is there, my comfort is there. I don't give a crap. My son is in Memphis, so he needs me more than y'all do. And y'all don't need me, quiet as kept. So I'm out. So I set up shop in Memphis. I'm struggling. I'm just talking about I'm struggling. Listen, man, I'm struggling big time. And I'm talking about I'm looking for homes to stay at. I scraped up, well, thank God there was a lady in the Bible class who let me stay there with her family. But I'm talking about, look, it's a 3-bedroom house, and there's 12 people in the house. No, that's not gonna work. So I ain't gonna be no burden, so I move out. There was a brother from Chattanooga who now lives in Memphis. He's a police officer at the time. You know what I'm saying? So my brother connected me to him. He's a bachelor, but he got a 2-bedroom. I crashed on the floor in the 2nd bedroom. Cool, great. Meet a girl, crash with her for a little while. All right, cool. So now I gotta get on my feet. I ain't with living with other folks. All I know is I'm in Memphis now, so I can at least take care of my boy, okay? So now it's time I find me a crib, find me an apartment. It's in Castelia, off Ketchum. All right. One of my OGs in Atlanta sells me a car for $200. I catch the Greyhound to Atlanta. Get on the bus. Catch the Greyhound to Atlanta. Get there, buy the car for my aunt, drive the car back. Now I'm cool. Now he's got transportation, got me a little crib. Okay. Found me a little job, So now I'm on my feet. Everything's going way, way better. Everything's going great. All right. I go to find the apartment, put my money down on the apartment. All right. Move into the apartment. Everything's cool. I come back to the apartment one day, turn the key to the lock. My key don't work. All right. So now I'm like, bro, what the hell is this? Call my landlord, no answer. Text my landlord, no answer. Call my landlord again, no answer. Keep in mind, it's me and my son. I'm talking about the struggle that I had to go through. So all of this struggle, okay? I'm still struggling. So I'm talking about at this point, still struggling throughout this process. Yo, I don't know what to do. I get in the car, I'm driving 240 around Memphis, just driving around. Now it's about 2 o'clock in the morning. I pull up to the side of the road. My son on the passenger seat, he knocked out. And I just break it down into tears because we ain't got nowhere to go. I asked a couple people in my Bible class, hey man, can I come stay with you for a couple weeks? All I heard was, nah, bro, that ain't gonna work. Okay, cool. I didn't explain the situation. I didn't feel like I had to because these folks supposed to be family, cool with me, whatever. Just, all right, bet, whatever. Let's keep it moving. So I'm talking about I got to sleep in my car now, me and my son. Thank God he gets to go to daycare throughout the day. While throughout the day, I'm trying to go find another job, find a place to stay, all of this. So fast forward. Okay, find a house, find a job. I'm a part of a arena football team, okay? Driving to Tupelo every day for practice. Cool, no problem to me. 90 miles there, 90 miles back. Nothing to me, I don't really care. All right, my son, keep in mind, my son with me the whole time. All right, some days he got to go to practice with me. Some days he on the sidelines with me during my games. You know what I mean? The cheerleaders watching my boy. So I'm doing this, and I'm just trying to make a living just for my boy. It's early on in my career, right? Towards the end of my football career. And now we transitioning into real life manhood because now we leaving football. Now we got to go to work. I'm headed to visit the family that took us in. Kid hit me head on. All right, I called the cops. I called 911 so they can come do a report. This bad police officer pulls up to the scene. But I can say that now because today is actually my 17th wedding anniversary from the day me and her got married. So let me rewind that. Let me run that back for you one more time. Kid hit me head on. Boom, I call the police. Police car pulls up. Fine police officer gets out. 3 hours later, I gave her my phone number. A day later, we hit our first conversation. 10 months later, we married. So, along this same time, man, still trying to find my way. Still trying to figure out what I'm going to do with life, right? Now, I'm a husband. I'm a father of 3 now. My family went from me and Taj to me, my wife, her 2 kids, my son. Cool, love it. Happy to be married. Happy to be, a dad. Happy to do all of it. But financially, I got to step my game up. I printed out about 100 resumes, put on a suit, get in my car, drive to every business, right? Drive to as many businesses I can see, walk into the business. Can I please speak to your manager? Okay, my manager's not available. All right, can I please speak to somebody who's in charge of hiring? I did that for maybe 2 weeks straight. Get a phone call from Wells Fargo Financial, working at Wells Fargo Financial as a credit manager. All right, keep in mind this whole time, I'm just trying to make ends meet, take care of my family, do right by my son, do right by my wife. You know what I mean? Football's still on my mind, still got some training going on, still got some contacts with the NFL, but they're looking for, guys with agents, guys with recent college experience, so that's kind of falling through the cracks. So now we transitioning into real life, just straight up adulthood, no more football, all this, okay? Hope I ain't boring y'all to death with this story. What I'm talking about though is the struggle that leads to the success. I ain't gonna give you all 14 years of struggle, but I am gonna fast forward to is when I start my training business in a field off an idea that my wife gave me, okay? I go to a field, take my son who was 7 at the time now, my stepson who is now, let's see, Steve was a baby 11 or 12. My 3 nieces come down from Buffalo, New York. My 4th niece joins them later. I ain't got no paying clients, but we training, and we training in a field that is visible, okay? No shade, no shelter, no nothing. All right, but we in plain sight. Okay, we go out there, we train all day long, man. We going to all different places throughout the city, just training, hoping that somebody sees and hoping that somebody starts paying. All right, nothing really shaking. My wife suggests, hey man, go down to the Memphis Jewish Community Center. Shout out to them for getting my career started. All right, shout out Lauren Carr, Austin Carr, still love you out of death, man, because y'all was the ones that got me going. All right, Memphis Jewish Community Center, they said, we don't have space for a trainer right now, but what I want you to do, you can put on a free clinic for speed and agility, all right? But you can, because they found out about my football background. That was the idea, put on a free clinic for speed and agility, all right? If you draw up some business, you can train them here. Cool, okay? Day 1 was speed day. Day 2 was agility day. 4 kids total showed up for both days. Now here I am thinking about the numbers. Thinking about how it looks, okay? Wasn't thinking about the quality of the individual or what was going on in their mindset or what they had going on or their athletic background or their drive to be better athletes. Wasn't considering any of that. All I saw was, not very many kids here. This was a flop. After I put on that 2-day camp, the next day, Lauren Carr calls me, Coach, you got some bites. Got some people who want to help, who want to train with you. And my husband, Austin Carr, he is the head coach of the Maccabi team that we send to Israel every year. He wants you to train them. So now we on to something. All right. So I get to train a few of the kids on a Maccabi soccer team. Okay. Then I get to train the entire team. All right. This team goes over to Israel to compete. After game 1, the head coach calls me. It's about 3 a.m. over here. He's in Israel calling. Man, what did you do to these kids? They are cooking everybody. Second half, they blowing everybody out of the water. They not slowing down. They fasten everybody. Holy crap, coach. What did you do? And then, for the first time in history, they went on and won the gold medal. All right, they come back. Word travels real fast. Word travels to the assistant athletic director over at Lausanne, my brother Spencer Lynch, my man. He calls me up, hey man, we got an opening for a strength and conditioning coach. I told my athletic director, you'd be perfect for the job. I said, absolutely. I sure appreciate it. Thank you so much for the opportunity. My first assignment over there was the boys basketball team. Now let me say this. No good journey is without a sure amount of resistance, okay? So no good success story is without resistance, all right? So I have in mind, I'm a football player. I'm a basketball player. I ran track. I at least want to train football and basketball. Now, the basketball coach was sold. He was all in because he's also a Chattanooga native. My man, Kenneth White, my brother. So when he found out what I was doing, coach, train the boys, you got them, okay? The football coach was an old school guy. RIP, name is Ken Netherland. Old school coach from Germantown. He's coaching the football team. He don't want me to have no part of his football team. No part, none whatsoever. Make that very clear. As a matter of fact, he was emphatic about his players not training with me. There's a resistance, but it's cool. So I'm starting at Lausanne, training the basketball team. Here's what I didn't know. These kids were all plugged in to several AAU organizations, several high-level recruits, basketball-wise. So when they get to changing and they get to working and they get to jumping higher and moving all quicker, what do? They go tell somebody. What I didn't know was they were telling kids that they were playing against, they were playing with, that they knew needed the training. And word also got around to one of my brothers now, Eric Brent. He was at Overton High School at the time, if I'm not mistaken. And I say he's my brother now because now we're the bros. Oh yeah. So anyway, Eric Brent found out about me. He told me about he told a couple of brothers that he's related to, 6'7", 6'9", about this trainer who does athletes specifically. Now, he was actually a trainer, but what he could have done easily was say, forget that dude, I'll train y'all myself. He wasn't on that. He said to these boys, look, man, I could train y'all, but what y'all need, that's what he does. Hey, so I'll forever be indebted to that brother. And I'll forever respect that brother. And I'll forever have his back because he was speaking well on my name in rooms that I wasn't even in before I even knew his name. So that'll tell you something about him. So anyway, now we building momentum, okay? But again, there will always be some level of resistance. So my mindset still is and always has been, keep your head down and just keep working, okay? So while I'm starting to grow all this momentum, now, not only are the 4 and 5 star kids from around the city coming to train with me, future 4 and 5 star kids that they nor I knew that they wound up being as good, they start training with me. Word gets over to the University of Memphis. All of their former players who are going overseas to play basketball, pro basketball, a lot of the guys that are getting ready to go and play in the NBA G League, the D League at the time, they finding out about me. And I'll give you the names. It was Joe Jackson, it was Chris Crawford, Sean Taggart, Jeremy Hunt, Willie Kemp, all these guys, Pierre Niles, all of them. You name them, they were there. All right. So what happened was these guys are coming. And now, here's what I didn't expect. Again, my thing is I'm just keeping my head down and I'm just working. I ain't up to no fanfare. I don't get caught up in celebrity. None of that. I'm here to do my job. I'm here to help these people. I'm here to get on about their way so they can be better basketball players. And hope they tell somebody else so I can drum up some more business, help some more folks. Okay, so remember the two brothers I told you about that Eric Brent told me about. Their name was KJ and Dedrick Lawson. They were members of Penny Hardaway's AAU basketball team, Team Penny. They go to practice after about 4 or 5 months of training with me. P hadn't seen them play in a little while. Holy crap, what the hell have y'all been doing? You ain't never been this quick. You ain't never been this athletic. What y'all been doing? So what do? They tell them, hey man, we've been training with Shabazz. Shabazz. It's not my name, by the way, but it's cool. Well, it was cool at the time. Shabazz is my name. So I get a call from Penny's assistant coach, a personal assistant named Chris Campbell. Okay, Chris Campbell calls me up, hey man, Penny Hardaway saw the job you did with the boys. He'd love to meet with you. Cool, bet, great, all right, I'm excited. Meet with Penny Hardaway. Here's how I should have known that he and I were gonna hit it off and wound up becoming best friends. Okay, so I'm dressing like I'm going to an interview, right? Because, number one, it's Penny Hardaway. Number two, I'm trying to make a good first impression. So he tell me to pull up to his gym. I pull up. I'm suited and tied up, you know what I mean? I get in the car, open the car. For whatever reason, first thing I say to him, hey man, I'll be talking about my suit, bro. I know I look like I'm about to go to a funeral or something. We just both bust out laughing. Way to break the ice. So we just chopping it up. We go to Soulfish Cafe. Never been there before. My first time there. Go to Soulfish. We just chopping it up. It was basically a job interview. And apparently I did pretty well because from that point on, I trained his AAU team. And when he decided to take the job at East High School, he brought me on to be his head strength coach. So, and again, keep in mind what I said. No great journey to success is without a high level of resistance. This whole time, all right, somebody's gonna find something negative to say. You only hooked up with Penny Hardaway because of such and such and such. Which doesn't make sense to me, because all I was doing was just working. So Penny and I, we helped 3 state championship teams in a row over at East High School. The only reason you won state championship because y'all was gonna win state anyway. Ain't had nothing to do with you. Okay, blah, 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 blah. All right, cool, whatever. But also helped a gymnastics facility win 9 state championships around the same time. And then before I even got to East, keep in mind, helped Lausanne win the state championship and helped Hamilton win one too. And their words, not mine. We don't win this without this man's help. Their words, not mine. So, highest level of resistance. By this time, I've opened my own training facility. I'm still training multiple teams. My mindset always is help as many as you can. I didn't care their affiliation. I didn't care their AAU affiliation. I didn't care if this AAU organization and this organization were beefing with each other. I didn't care what they were saying about each other. I didn't care what they were saying about me. Because my whole thing was help as many as you can, get them right. Because if they do this training, oh yeah, they're gonna love it. To be a little bit more specific, Team Penny All right, one of the biggest organizations in the entire country. On the other side of the city, we'll say Team Thad, okay? They're another one of the biggest AAU organizations in the city. For whatever reason, I don't know if Thad ever really trusted me or if he just had his own guy or whatever, but that never really came to light as far as me working directly with him, training his guys, which I never held against him. Matter of fact, me and Thad actually had a Twitter beef that was kind of funny because we beefing on Twitter and we texting each other back and forth. At first, I thought he was serious, but then when he started texting me, I'm like, okay, this is all in good fun, so it's all cool. It's all good. So anyway, that was my first Twitter beef ever, too. So anyway, my whole mission, again, was help as many as you can. And again, keep in mind, no great journey is without opposition. So I got kids talking about, man, look, that's Team Penny guy. We don't F with him. Man, that's Penny's guy. We don't F with Penny, so we don't F with him. And this way of thinking is just mind-blowing to me because the affiliation aspect of why you need to get better, I couldn't put them two together. So neither one had anything to do with the other one. My thing was, you see what's going on with the rest of these kids. Why not want to do it and be a part of it? So anyway, we grow. All right, my man goes off to the University of Memphis, and I'm thinking I was going with him. You know what I mean? Circumstances, I wound up not going. There was a strength coach on staff already. So they had to keep him in place while P transitions to full-time head coach there. I continue to run my business, continue to run my facility. Facility's growing like crazy. Now, let's talk about how much hell I was catching that I didn't even realize. I had no idea parents were cutting me to shreds behind my back. Had no idea. Kids were talking bad about me behind my back. The reputation became, Shabazz gets kids hurt. Shabazz don't let parents come to train. Shabazz don't let parents sit in and watch during training. Let me tell you something. To an extent, all of that was true, except the part where I get kids hurt. Let me explain that. First off, as a certified strength and conditioning specialist, you're an expert in anatomy, physiology, and the in and out workings of the body at every single level. When I say every level, I mean from childhood to adolescent to preteen to teenager to adult, okay? You also are fully aware of the limitations that should be put on the physical body in terms of training. Never in a million years would an adolescent be doing what a professional athlete is doing from a strength aspect, meaning this. We'll take the most misunderstood and the most dangerous lift. We'll say squats, okay? An 8-year-old basketball player should not be doing heavy squats by no stretch of the imagination. What should he be doing? Some form of squat variation, okay? You have goblet squats. You have body weight squats. You have split squats. You have all these different variations. Now, what you also can do is teach them the back squat with minimal to little to no resistance. Meaning, you put a bar on their back, you teach them to keep their back straight, you teach them to squat down to depth, you teach them to push through the ground, you teach them to stand up straight. Period. You make it so simple that you learn how simple it is, just like inhaling and exhaling. You do the exact same thing every time you squat, okay? That's just one example. A lot of people didn't understand that. And a lot of people are dumb enough to say, well, I saw 15 seconds of social media of some kids lifting, so I don't want my kid doing that. And keep in mind, this kid may have been 17 years old and your kid is 8. Why on earth would I have your 8-year-old doing what a 17-year-old is doing? Okay? So resistance is starting to pile up now. At the same time, you got kids declaring on the news while they're going into 10th grade, you 5'11", and you tomahawking the basketball on a fast break, or you go and dunk on the #1 player in the country who's 2 years older than you, and you got players picking up scholarship offers left and right, and you got little, short, white kids running circles around hood black kids who are supposed to be extra crazy fast and more athletic, but they don't realize that these little short white kids got some expert named Shabazz behind them, training them to be fast, faster, and fastest than everybody. So, again, the resistance, which again is part of the journey, is part of the process. And it's totally cool. If you don't, let me pause. Let me put a pin in that real quick. If you want to be successful in life, you better know resistance and opposition is coming. Think about it from a physiological and a training standpoint. Man, I hope y'all listening to this. Bruh, you don't get stronger unless you add resistance. Well, what about body weight? Like I said, you don't get stronger unless you add resistance. You can add more repetitions with the same resistance and get stronger. You can add more resistance with the same amount of body weight and get stronger that way. There are multiple ways that you can manipulate your body to get stronger. However, if you don't have resistance, you do not get stronger. Period. So, the way I train my athletes, everybody trains with resistance. Everybody trains for speed. Everybody trains for explosiveness. Everybody trains for quickness. Everybody trains for agility. Everybody trains for endurance. Everybody trains for flexibility. And lastly, most important, everybody trains to prevent injuries. Okay. All right. So now I moved from my storefront facility on Macon Road to a big, gigantic facility over on Midas Cove. Everything's going great. We literally have about 40, 50, sometimes 60 athletes in each class. Okay. All of a sudden, here comes the monster. March, April 2020, COVID-19. I'll tell you something. Here's some more resistance. And it's something that I did not see coming. And I had no idea what I was going to do. I even had people close to me saying stuff like, hey, man, don't do nothing. Don't do anything. Like, bro, I'm a man. You out of your mind? What you mean don't do nothing? Don't do anything. You got to figure this shit out. And here's what I mean. COVID-19 forced all gymnasiums, all gyms, all workout facilities to shut down indefinitely. Was a point of emphasis. Yeah? Everybody remember that brand new term now. Social distancing. Been a new term since 2020. Okay? Then, so what do I do now? Initially what I did, every piece of equipment, all right? From all of my Vertimaxes, all of my dumbbells, all of my plates, my plow boxes, my hurdles, my ladders, my cones, every one of them. I just gave it away. I gave it all to all of my clients for free to use during the shutdown. What I also did was post I posted a workout for free online on my Instagram story. And I told all of my clients to make sure you video yourself doing it, post it, tag me so I can know you're still locked in with me, okay? Keep in mind, I did all this for free, no charge at all. Now let me tell you how, another witness that when you bless others, God bless you in return, 100%, all right? Keep in mind, I had no plan on how I'm about to make income. No clue of how I'm gonna do it. Then I decided, basically start training for free, okay? May 1st, I've been shut down for a month. I get a $200 cash out from one of my clients. I get a text very shortly after. Coach Boz, I know you closed, but I still wanted to pay for our training for the month just to give you some support. Blew my doggone mind. Now, I don't know if these folks in contact with each other or if God just showing out doing what he do. But I started getting cash app after cash app after cash app after cash app from every one of my clients during this time. And it happened in May and it happened in June of 2020. Hey, man, your boy was touched. That's not even a good enough word for it. But when I tell you that solidified my faith that God stamped what I was doing and the heart that he gave me to do it. And all I could do was just say thank you and just give him the glory for it, man. That's all I could do. And then the icing on the cake was, keep in mind, my best friend now is at Memphis. This is like going in his second year. He calls me up, because we always talking smack about playing one-on-one. Because, hate to admit that, I never beat him once. Never beat him. He's like, I don't know how many you know, but I owe him one. So anyway, he pulls up to the gym. He calls me up, FaceTime me. Yeah, bro, I knew you were scared to play me. Yeah, that's why you ain't here. I said, fool, whatever, I'm at home. He pulls up to the crib. Now he's a crazy, crazy germaphobe. Car's immaculate on the inside, not one hint of dirt. But he in the car by himself with his mask on. Gets out of the car with his mask on. Bro, what you doing with your mask on, bro? We outside. Man, I don't know, man. Coronavirus. So anyway, pulls out an envelope. Say, man, hey man, I want you to read this book. I want you to read this book, but you can't take it out the envelope till you get in the house. I'm like, what book you talking about? Man, take this book in the house, bro. Hands me the envelope, gets in the car, pulls off. All right, so old man in my word. I'm like, all right, bet, let's see what this is about. Pulls off. I go in the house, open the envelope. $5,000 cash in the envelope. I broke down in tears. I called him up. I'm like, hey, dog, what did you do, bro? What you talking about? Because he's a goofball. What you talking about, bro? I don't know what you're talking about. So then he's like, hey, man, you done blessed so many people. You're my brother. I love you. And I just wanted to help out. I know this is a hard time right now. I couldn't even get the words out, man. I was wrecked. I was a wreck. And I appreciated that so much. It was just another witness again. When you witness to bless somebody else, God gonna bless you in return. So, keep in mind again, there is no success without opposition, without resistance. The resistance came from me in terms of the training is fake, the training don't work. Came from me, keep getting kids hurt. The resistance came from me, you wouldn't have won those state championships without Penny Hardaway. Resistance came in the form of COVID-19. All right? So, we slowly start to build back up, start to open back up, loosen up now. Now I can have 10 at a time in the gym, then 20, okay? It was still at a point where I was still doing a lot of training for free because I didn't want to offend any parents and let them know that I was moving cautiously, you know what I mean, and not just being reckless and trying to just get no money, right? Even though this is my means of income, but I still wanted to show the type of person that I was, you know what I mean? I wasn't trying to exploit this COVID-19 thing and the fact that y'all need training for me to go in the gym, take y'all money because y'all need somewhere to train. I wasn't gonna do that. So I lowered my price, and in some instances, I train for free. Okay, now, also keep in mind, this is going into my 5th year as Houston High School's strength and conditioning coach. A team that I helped go from 3-7 to 10-3, all right, to 13-1, 13-0 to 13-1, to like, I don't know, 8-5, I think the following year, because that COVID year was it was crazy. But here comes some more resistance. I noticed that they hadn't been paying me, okay? Then I noticed that the kids had slowly stopped showing up to training. Had no idea why either of them were happening, but I didn't want to be that guy to be complaining or anything, you know, so I didn't say much. When they showed up, I worked hard. Every Friday night, I still was on the sideline with them, walking them out, lead them to the field. You know, a lot of losses that year because we weren't training like we should. And, you know, a lot of challenges because of what year it was. I mean, the COVID year. A lot of challenges mentally, physically, all of it. So, we're about week 8. I ain't got paid yet. So I text the head coach, hey, man, I noticed y'all guys have stopped coming. And I noticed that y'all guys have not written me a check in 8 months. His response was, well, we just can't afford to pay you anymore. So that's how we had to handle it. No communication, no email, no warning, no conversation. That was your response. Then, come to find out, I made a move as a dad because now you mistreat my son also. Transfer him to a different school. All right, cool. His senior year, he goes to Germantown High School. All right. Keep in mind, it's not a gripe session here, but I do got to tell the story because, again, no true success comes without opposition. And along my journey, dog, I had a whole lot of opposition. Some of it was expected. A lot of it was not expected. And this was one instance that it just was not expected. In this relationship, honestly, with this school, really hadn't been repaired since. Until recently. And I'll tell you about that a little bit later. So, okay. So I'm trying to finish the season. By the end of the day, I got disrespected so much. I said, you know what? Don't worry about it. I'm going to turn in my resignation. But all I need y'all to do, write me a check. I'm still being a bigger person. Write me a check for half of what I earned. Half. Just half. I don't even say 8 months. Write me a check for half. We call it a day. We shake hands. I go about my business. I get a check the next day. Here's how I know they were full of BS the whole time. Y'all should have been paying me this whole time. Y'all knew I was training your boys this whole time. But y'all just want to see how this black man was going to handle this. And I handled it in such a classy way. Probably threw y'all off, which is fine. Okay, cool, whatever. Now I'm still training. Now I'm training full time at the facility. Multiple teams are coming to the facility. And I would say, man, 2 teams in particular. Hold up. Okay, now this time, I'm training full time at the facility. And I mean full time. Everything's going great. Class is going great. Numbers are down because of COVID still. But here's what wound up happening. When I originally signed the lease to the building, the only reason I agreed to go into this particular building was because the owner of the building said he'd give me the option to buy the building after the 5th year. Okay, cool, great. So we're in the building, everything's going good. 3 years into my lease, I said, hey man, just wanted to revisit, make sure everything was cool about me buying the building. Well, now I decided not to sell it. And, you know, because this money that I'm making off this building going toward my kids' retirement. Bitch, I got 5 kids. What do you think I'm trying to do? I'm trying to, come on, man. So in the back of my mind, I'm like, it's time to move on. Call the wife. Hey, babe, it's a wrap for this place. She said, say less. I hated playing the rent there anyway. Let's see what's up. So we moved to an apartment, sell our houses, let go of this building, stay in this apartment for about 5 months, looking for a house. I'm still training clients how I can, online, virtual, whatever. Okay? I know I'm about to move out of this big building, right? Well, I'm looking for a place to move out of this building. So, lo and behold, we find a home on 3 acres with a big barn on it. Let me go back a little bit. Our plan was find some land, build my business on the land first, put the land and the building up as collateral to put down payment on the house and build the house on the same land. But here's how God stepped in for us. He found us 3 acres of land with the building and the house on the same land. Yeah, he did that. So needless to say, God stepped in for us again. I was out of that building. I think it took me 2.5 days with the help of my 8 o'clock guys. They helped me move that doggone stuff. I gave away treadmills, gave away equipment that I couldn't. And as a result, we moved in. Oh, keep in mind, my rent at the old facility was $3,500 a month. My rent at my new facility is $0 a month. Yeah, you do the math. So, now, this whole time, I'm an independent contractor. I'm going to several places. I'm training all over the country, going all over the city. Now, I've also, around the same time, latter part of 2023 now. No, I'm sorry. Latter part of 2022. You know, God put it on my heart, become an inspirational and motivational speaker. Travel around the country, tell college teams, tell college campuses, tell assemblies, tell churches, tell them your story, and tell them how God delivered you multiple times. So now I'm basically running 2 businesses, one as a speaker, one as a strength coach. Okay? And here comes 2023. Now I'm gonna wrap it up here. All right. 2023 was easily the single worst year of my 44 years. At the time, just 42 years. Okay. April 2023, I have a mild heart attack, which is so confusing because I'm in ridiculous shape. But my stress was stupid high. So that's what wound up causing me. Shortly after that, my sister has a massive seizure. I almost took her out. My mom has a horrible fall. Okay. My cousin diagnosed with stage 4 pancreatic and liver cancer. This is all in the course of a month. My sister, my oldest sister, her health starts to decline because she recently just had weight loss surgery. My great aunt, who gave me a nickname, Right Hand, because she couldn't pronounce my name, Raheem. She passes away suddenly. Well, she was 98, you know what I mean? So Aunt Chloe, she lived. You freaking angel, you. So, but I was still sad about it, for real, because that was my girl. But shortly after that is the one that rocked me. My sister suddenly passed August 18th, 23. Had no clue it was coming, no clue. Just got a call from my mom. Oh my God, Raheem, Aisha died. And I couldn't believe she said it. I was stunned. I'm getting stunned, but I'm getting shook about it even right now as we speak. But as I recount those horrible, horrible days, then followed right after that, I get into a horrible car accident that nearly took my life. Yeah. So all of this happened within a matter of April, May, June, July, August, September. 5 months. April, May, June, April, May. 6 months. Back to back to back to back. Boom, 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 boom. All of a sudden, get a phone call. My man, Professor Richard Yergin, over at Clemson University. It's your boss. I know you've been trying to get over here to speak. But, matter of fact, this happened right before the accident. I know you've been trying to get over here to speak. Got an opportunity for you. Can't pay much. Matter of fact, can't pay anything. However, the credibility alone, you being at the University of Clemson speaking, hold plenty of weight and could lead to several different opportunities. It's a dream now. All this hell going through, breaking loose. God showed up and said, let me create an opportunity for you that you dreamed of. Here you go. Let me let you know. I still got my hand on you. I'm still working for you. After I get back from Clemson, one more big bomb got dropped on me in the family. All right. Won't go into detail about that one, but it was horrible. It was terrible. So the devil just hit me with all types of resistance, all types of adversity. I'm talking about left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. Low blows, boom, boom, boom. One thought kept me sane throughout this whole process. God, there is no way that you taking me through all of this is something absolutely incredible is not about to happen next. And I swear to God, he was right. So, fast forward to about a month ago, I became the head of strength and conditioning at Division II HBCU, Lane College. Somebody with a little bit of knowledge might say, well, you got Lemoyne on. Lane College is their rival. Well, number one of my kids that I trained, he went to Lemoyne, he gave it to me as a gift. Number two, I'm not that superficial. But at the same time, probably won't be rocking this unless I'm getting it dirty. So anyway, we get to a point where now we understand all of the adversity, all of the grinding, all of the hard work was for a good reason. Keep in mind, I think I just recently heard somebody else say this recently. Success is not a destination. Success is a journey. Success is a process. Success is all the moves that you made to overcome the potential losses. Success is the jump over the hurdle. Success is the get back up after the knockdown. That's success. Ray Lewis said that greatness is a bunch of small things done well over and over and over and over and over again. It's safe to say that a whole lot of get-ups after some knockdowns, that's how you become absolutely great. You've seen this time and time again with several athletes over the years. My favorite being Michael Jordan. You saw all the losses that he took before he started to learn how to truly win. You saw all the losses LeBron James took before he learned how to win. You know what I mean? Several more examples. All the losses Saquon Barkley had to take up there in New York. And now, you know, easily the single best weapon on the Super Bowl winning championship team. You had to lose first in order to learn how to win. That way, when you do win, you give the glory to God. I hope y'all got something out of what I said. Just remember, man, you take this with you. There is no successful journey without a certain humongous amount of resistance. The resistance is inevitable, and it's absolutely necessary because that is how you get stronger. This is Coach Shabazz, man. I love y'all so much. Oh, shout out my sponsors. Sugar Ghost, Mary Claire White, Sauna Box, my man Keith Cannon, R&B Dogs. He's about to buy a freaking whole, what's called, a food truck park where a whole bunch of food trucks are gonna come to him, and his food truck will still be out there, you know. But shout out my sponsors, shout out to everybody who subscribed to SHA-PODCAST. This is kind of a impromptu episode. So episode 19, you know, I always shout out my LBs when I shout out my episode 19. Wild boy, you the ace dog, you up front. This will be the last shout out for you. And the 9 dog, that's yours truly, baby, that's me. All right, man. Coach Shabazz, I love y'all. Thank you so much for listening.
I guess meaner, badder, strong and ferocious. You don't need much more see the rest.